Do you feel like you're coping okay? If you've had your own illnesses to contend with?
Well, I've had to put my illness on the back burner. That's... as I said, I don't come into it. It's mainly Pat's illness is long term. It's ongoing every day. I mean, cancer. I mean, I didn't get any pain with the cancer. It was just sort of in and out, and then I'm finished with that. That was just like a hiccup, really, in our relationship. Once I got over it and that, but my main thing is Pat getting her repaired, getting her fixed, getting a quality of life as best we can, and just trying to get through on a day-to-day basis.
So, is there anything that you used to do, either separately or together, before this started that you don't do now?
Well, we don't go out as much because Pat can't walk for. Walking's a problem. Obviously, country walking, it has to. If we do walk, it's got to be on the flat and not banky. We don't do steps or stairs or anywhere. You've got to always constantly searching for lifts or easy access to places. Visiting friends, or if we do, which we do from time to time, it's got to be on the day. You can't plan anything. Things have to be planned mainly on the day, because it's a wait and see what condition Pat's going to be on that day. So when Pat got the dystonia, and because that was like sheer horror on some of the faces. We had people walking in our house with absolutely that look, you could see it in the faces when they saw Pat from like a normal posture into this dystonia posture. Sheer horror on the faces.
Is that because they didn't know how to react to it?
Yes, probably, yeah.
So their embarrassment as much as anything.
So some of our good friends just like disappeared, or made excuses, or just stopped coming as much as they used to. And one by one we lost all our friends, because I don't know what it was, were we of no use to them anymore, or because I used to do favours for lots of people, didn't I? I used to do electrical work for free for friends and that, over a lot of years, but they just seemed to disappear. And then we went with Ada, and we've gained a whole load of new friends with Ada. Actually, we've got more friends now than we had before, but because they've all got a common interest, which is dystonia. So
you get a lot of support through Ada.
Well, Ada's without Ada, we wouldn't have. We've got some very, very good friends now, and we wouldn't have met them, if it wasn't for Ada. Put it that way.
Taking that you can't change the dystonia, is there anything else you would change?
The what? Sorry.
So, in view that you can't change the dystonia as it is now, is there anything else you would change, or if you could?
What regards treatment or?
Treatment, anything that affects?
Well, I would what Pat wants, which is the DBS. Like I say, it might not work, but it's something we have to try. Right. We may gain from it, we may not, but it's reversible, and it's just a road that we've got to go down, I think. Well, Pat thinks, so. Right. But I'm just speaking for Pat, because I know that's what she'd want.
Right. How does your family react to it? Have you got children?
Got a lad and a boy and a girl. Well, our Anthony's in the forces, he's in the Marines, and he's away most of the time. Our Lisa lives 12 mile away, and she's back and forth. She's living with her partner. But they're okay, aren't they, really?
The length of time I've had it, I think they just accept that that's the way I am.
That's the way you are now.
So do they just see you now, and not the dystonia?
Oh, they definitely see, well, I think, they see Pat. Yeah. So, when this first happened, I tried to do the mollycoddling. I tried to do the they're hiding it or trying to make things better or not showing Pat the darks or any problems that came along, I try to hide them to make Pat's quality of life better.
So you're the protective
And it
one.
was like an act, but we had a big blow up over it. It only lasted a year, or less than a year, and we had a big blow up over it. And Pat, no, just want to be treated the same as I was. So that's what we do now. And if there's a problem, I'll tell Pat. I don't pull any punches.
Okay.
You know, I'll tell her how it is. And we just carry on the way we were when we were working and before Mr. Dystonia came and lived with us, innit? So,
So, is he still overprotective?
No, at one stage it was, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do the other, which like really got on my nerves because, like I say, always been that, well, my family was come first. Husband and son and daughter was dinners on the table, salt and pepper on, the whole works. That was my life, was to look after them. And then suddenly, I couldn't do that anymore, which obviously was very hard and very frustrating. And as I say, if I can try and find a way of getting round doing something in my own way, I will give it a go.
One of the things that when somebody has a chronic condition like this, the partners often feel a bit sort of useless and frustrated that they can't do anything to help it or get rid of it. Do you get that feeling?
yes, so I've been through that. Yes, I can relate to that. Because you do feel absolutely useless because there's nothing you can do. And I do still feel from time to time that way now. Because, like you say, you feel totally inadequate. Nothing you can do for it apart from make Pat more comfortable or get things for her or but again, she doesn't like us running about for her, so
So what's the best thing that he could do for you?
quick answer.
Strange.
That.
I couldn't think aloud, could have a list there, but just more or less basically just to be treated normally, that you're not different in any way, that if sometimes I have a problem that I can't get my words out properly. Now at one stage it would be, if he took the mickey out of us, I would like and bite Aram. Where now I would rather he done that. This is the way I am now. I've
And I do
accepted that. And he will take the mickey out of us and we will laugh about it because that's the only way we can get through it.
It's a laugh or cry thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either you go with it or you either go with it or you don't.
So what's the best thing that she could do for you?
Well, there's nothing Pat can do really for me because she already does everything for me. For herself, like I said, the DBS would be something, but Pat doesn't have to do nothing for me. She just has to be Pat.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
It's very obvious from the previous video that this lady has a very complex, multidirectional cervical dystonia. And it'd be very difficult to choose which muscles to inject, because wherever you inject on one side, it's going to affect the other side. So if you inject on the left, it's going to encourage the opposite side to turn more. If we had to inject, what we'd predominantly go for is, most of our position tends to be in the left lateral collis position. So we'd inject this side as for a normal lateral collis with the left sternomastoid, there, the scalenes, which is mostly the middle scalene on the side. We'd put a small dose into the left splenius, about half of what we'd used for the other sites, and 1, possibly 2 sites into levator scapula and trapezius. We might also add in 100 units into the right splenius capitis to help prevent this turning. Ultimately, it's only going to help dampen it down because of it being so complex. You'd normally tend to rely on drugs for this type of dystonia, and even at best you get help from 1 out of 5 patients, but usually at the cost of side effects because the doses tend to have to be so high. The commonest one being that the patient feels doped up most of the time and would prefer to put up with the symptoms of the dystonia rather than the side effects of the medication.